Right, hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable. Whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm tucking the truck here perfectly.
All I ever do is work. I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video footage.
Night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
Down in trouble water.
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit!
Oh, man, drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I swear the page goes live.
coming in. Currently. I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries. But semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, and the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is a tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. Turn right now, and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
What's up, everybody? Happy Halloween. It was my last second mask. It's Sarah's favorite mask. Louie don't care. Happy Halloween. I don't know, Louie can handle anything, right? We should try Hunter. I don't know where he's at. Oh well. Are you okay? I can't see Hunter. We'll see. We'll put it on when Hunter comes around. I didn't know what to grab. Sarah runs around the house with that thing and has so much fun with it. I just had to put a battery in it though. It was to sound a little weak. Oh my goodness. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. It's Thursday. Last day in October. November tomorrow. Oh my God, what's up with that, right? Christmas is going to be next month. Don't Chewy the dog. They put up with my shenanigans, so anyway. Sure, Shelly. Anything for you. Well, hope everybody's doing well here on Thursday. We got a little weather to talk about, as always. We're going to say hello for a few minutes, drink some coffee together. Here's the candy corn I forgot to eat yesterday. Yesterday was National Candy Corn Day. And we don't give candy to dogs, but Tonight's the night we take all the Reese peanut butter cups from the kids. That's National Take Your Kids Reese Peanut Butter Cups Day. So, well, anyway, let's say hi for a few minutes, and then we're going to talk tropics. I would look good with dreadlocks. Well, I have a mullet hat that I wear sometimes with long hair. Happy Halloween, Diane. Where's Jack at? Jack and Diane. What's up, Richard Reamer? Good morning, Niceville, Audrey. Good morning, Sherry Pie. Oh, thank you, Sam. Joy. Morning, Elite from Naples. Bill Barber, what's up? Jill, what's cooking? When am I coming to Massachusetts, Sean? I don't know. I'd love to see them waves up there. Jill, it's all good. I know I was going to do Dennis today, but I don't know. I already seen him. I honestly didn't have suspenders, and I totally forgot. We wanted to watch the World Series last night. I'm like, do I go to Walmart or do I watch the World Series? World Series was good, so we watched it here at home, and yeah, it's fun. Sat out there, played with my lights, as you know. Excited about tonight. I love Halloween. So good morning, Lisa from Louisiana. Andrew from Port St. Lucie. What's up there, Tish? Sebastian, Charlie. What's up, Brew Crewers? Pensacola, Ann. Was it chilly up there today? Pensacola. Nancy, what's up? Anyway, Winter Haven, Texas. James from, what's up, Softball Man? Everybody looking good. Southwest Oklahoma. Got some storms brewing your way. It's like spring in Oklahoma. Share Landy. What am I drinking tonight, Jeffrey? I bought a plethora of weird stuff at ABC yesterday. One of the workers there, we were chit-chatting, and I got all kinds of crazy creams and cookie dough. I mean, as long as it's 70 proof, 70%, I don't care. 70 proof. I'm not really into sugar drinks, but if it's 70 proof, then it's good for me. I don't care what sugar's in it. But we got some fun stuff. Julie always likes it, variety. We got hopefully some adults come by and we can have a few shots. Shots. So, anyway, hope you're doing good. We're going to go ramble on here in a little bit. We do have, hey, look at that. Spaghetti Model IPA rocks. Tony, how about that? We're going to make double, triple batch next year. We could not believe how fast it sold out. It was not expected, that's for sure. This is Marky. This is Louie. Oh, my boy. I love him. I can hang out with him all day long. All day long. I do have salsa, Shelly. What's up, St. Pete? Kate, Ryan Anderson, how's it going, buddy? Oh, we're going to yik-yak a little bit here. Good news, bad news. Good news is ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Place you can get Spaghetti Model IPA if there's any left. We'll have more next year, we promise. They sold it. I've seen thousands of cans went somewhere. But not sure we're going to be able to do our meet and greets. So might be bad news, man. Hurricane. But we'll see. We are going to plan something, though, at Tampa Bay Brewing Company. So if the ABC doesn't work out, we're going to have an end-of-the-year party in December. Neighbors Helping Neighbors event where we're going to have a lot of charity giveaway raffles, baskets. It's going to be amazing. So, Shelly, I'll get you guys a room over here, all right? You guys can come on over here. We'll get you a room. But look for that. I always want to give back. We're going to be doing a special event. So talked about it with David yesterday. Going to do something like a $20, $25 ticket. Money proceeds go to charity. Plus you get all the draft beer you can drink and food specials and party, and it'll be a good time. Fire pit and all that. So is there a storm or not? Crystal, well, we tend to find out. if you're getting a little antsy, you might want to turn the page. Dusty, I'll get you a room, buddy. Anyway, so big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits for all that they do for me and our family and our MWP family and their family to me, and appreciate their support. They've done a lot for me for a lot of years. So if you live in Florida, make sure you swing in there if you got one close to you. Appreciate that. Hey, Pinellas County posted this today. I want to get into this real quick and then we'll say. So this got posted today. Pinellas County residents now can get a free temporary blue roof covering here in Pinellas County due to the hurricanes. So go to Pinellas County's social media channels, and they got information on the FEMA's Operation Blue Roof program, okay, for the next few weeks. Important information. So free blue roof. And if you need a roof in Pinellas County, you have to call my good friends at Done Right. Okay, good friends of mine. I met them all. They support, they sponsor, they do a lot of charity work. They sponsor softball. They're all over our county here, Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Pasco. So if you need anything with roof and you're local to me in our area, give them a call because they support us and a lot in our community. So unfortunately, hurricanes did a lot of damage here in our area. Not only wind, not only surge, but also rain. Speaking of rain, that's current radar. Oh my God, we got spring weather happening already, right? We had a very stormy evening and stormy night. This is a current radar. Look at that line of storms. That nuts, that's happening right now. So, Melanie Vluch is open for Blue Roof too. Houston, there you go. You got a little one in Houston right there. I see Houston right there. Jamie Henrich right there. You got a bigger one coming to your north later. The flying mattress. I seen flying mattresses. But so there you go. We're gonna talk weather. So there you go. Tropics coming up. Patience, man. I don't know if I should rant now or rant later. Let's rant later. I feel like a good rant. I'm excited about a rant. Hey, we had rain here at Pinellas County yesterday. What was up with that? We had a hard little rain. Came out of nowhere. It was coming across the state. Like little pop-up storms. Thank you, Mr. Will. I love it, buddy. We love talking tropics. I just do my thing. All right, let's talk about the weather coming up. Then we got right into tropics, I promise. Furman generators. Look at that. Look at that. Meso. How do you say your name? I wish I could pronounce it right. Greg, you in the chat? Somebody over there loving Furman. Lakeland. We love Lakeland. Sorry, Reamer. I know, buddy. Hurricanes, man. All right, so here's the storms coming up. I want to show you this real quick. This is today. This is that line of storms we're looking at now. It's going to continue tomorrow. I just want to keep everybody up to date. We got another line of storms brewing tomorrow, Friday, starting out west. Saturday, this same line is going to be bringing storms. This is like spring. But look at this. Every single day we got severe storm chances. Sunday, Monday. There you go. So today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, we got storms brewing in the middle part of the U.S. That's pretty much it. But it's important. People heading that way. But here's the tropics. Let's talk about the tropics. Oh my God, everybody hates talking about the tropics. I understand. But Barbie bought a Furman before the last hurricane. Well, that's cool, Miss Barbie. Did you see the movie Barbie? I did. I actually liked it. I can't believe it. I liked it. I was expecting it to not be very good, and it actually had a story. See you, Eric. Have a good day, buddy. Tropics. Man, all right. I don't understand what's going on with people, but I can tell you right now. Thank you, Donna. Hey, Kelly, how's down south doing? So, tropics. It's Halloween. I know Joel Harrison, right? We got to talk tropics, man. So, the amount of folks that don't understand what I do and what they say absolutely just drives me crazy. Whoever that lady was today, can we just not? Well, then don't follow Mike's weather page. I've not changed in 20 years. And some people don't want to talk about tropics. The season ends in another month. And if you don't want to talk tropics, then don't come to my page and tell me not to talk tropics. That is so stupid. I'm sorry. Then don't follow. I'm an amateur weather blogger, okay? I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not the National Hurricane Center. National Hurricane Center is talking tropics, so go to their page and tell them to stop. But I'm not going to stop talking. And for those that think that this is about clicks and likes, that's just stupid. I got 2.3 million almost on Facebook, okay? You can leave. It won't hurt my feelings. I mean, I don't understand. A weather page talking weather gets people pissed off. It really pisses me off that it pisses you off that you don't want to talk weather on a weather page. So just go away, please. I'm tired of it. Don't tell me what I can and can't post on my page. I don't hype. I show models. I talk my thoughts, and if you don't like it, then fine. But you don't have to be here. I don't downplay storms because tropical storms can bring just as much havoc as Cat 4s. Cat 1s can bring billions of dollars of damage, okay? We people want the same people bitched at me during Milton and Helene, and look what happened. So, it's numbing. And everybody thinks this is a Florida page, and unfortunately we have folks, fortunately we have folks from all around. We have people in the Yucatan that watch every day. I guarantee somebody's going to chime in here in a second from the Yucatan. We have a lot of people in Belize. We have a lot of people in the Caymans. We have a lot of people in Jamaica. So this isn't just about where you live. And that's what happens. It's like, it's not going to affect me, then shut up. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's other people that watch the tropics, not just where you live. So you have to think about that. This is a page it's not a Florida tropics page. It's a tropics page. And we have people going on cruises right now. We have people planning trips to, it affects people. So the level of BS, man, is getting old. So I'm gonna just over it. Some of y'all just need to leave. This is what I do. I'm very consistent. I believe in it. I'm very consistent, I don't underhype storms. I don't overhype storms. So if you don't like it, cool, man. You don't have to tell me. Anyway, all right. So Natural Hurricane Center up to 50%. This is an awesome map here. This is from a Tomer Berg. This is your water temperature map. So I put the NHC discussion on top of it, and basically, they're saying gradual pop. Low pressure is coming. Gradual development is possible. Could see a depression over the weekend as it drifts northward or northwestward next week. So 50% chance. All right. There you go. Official. A couple of my models that I love over the years. This one is really cool. It's showing this little low here. We've been talking a lot about this high pressure system for a week now. And it's been kicking off a piece of energy that's actually going to combine with this Central American gyre. And all this juice is going to end up right here. So some of the models have had this forming. Some of the models have had this forming. Some of the models actually had them becoming one big low pressure area. But that's kind of what we got. Some of the models have this doing this. Some of the models even have that one forming. So there is some energy out there in the Atlantic that we need to watch. The NHC did not highlight this one. So they're definitely believing that this area is going to combine with this and create something here in the Yucatan. So that's kind of where we're at. Here is a experimental map from FSU that puts together all your different models. You got Canadian, Euro, GFS, and UK. And we basically have the CMC, the UK, and the GFS showing development here with 67% chances. GFS also showing that other little spot, which is probably going to merge with this spot here. But basically, I thought they would have bumped it to 60%, but they're holding back. But anyway, that's the general area. You have model support from a few models there. This just reminds you the season's got another month. I'm not making it up. So many people think it's ridiculous to talk about tropics, but the official season goes into the November. So that's reality. A couple things I posted earlier today. Why this could happen. Water temperatures here. This is Spectrum News 9. Everybody's always asking about water temps. So wherever our system comes out and goes, this is all 83, 84 degrees. We actually still have 80 degrees, 82, 83, 81. We have this loop current, loop eddy. So the waters are definitely, sea surface temperature wise, warm enough to support tropics. I know, but they can. It's 80. So I've seen 78, 79 support systems that were, named systems. So we do have a front line coming. I'm going to talk about that. But as far as water temperatures go, they could definitely support something. This map here from Brian McNulty is a ocean heat content map, and it's basically showing you where we're at. This is your 10-year line from 13 to 23. The blue line is your average, and we're above that. So the ocean heat content is the hottest it's pretty much been since 2013. So the water temps down here don't know that it's November 1st. That's the bottom line. It's hot. Wind shear, if you know me, it's hard to really talk about wind shear because it changes so frequently, but wind shear is definitely a big part of frontal line systems, and we do have a front line coming next week that's probably going to lift this and turn it, in my opinion. From history. This is next Thursday, okay? Notice this is upper level wind shear, and we kind of have this little anticyclone, they call it, which is a high pressure area that develops over top of our system that actually helps ventilate and allow maybe some sort of development below that. So this is next Thursday a.m., this time next week. Our system likely will be somewhere here this time next week, and there is going to be a window of light wind shear. Now, all these colors up here represent a frontal line coming. Frontal lines have a lot of wind shear, and typically this time of year you have that. Typically this time of year, anything gets pulled north ends up going to the northeast, and we have a lot of eastern sheared rains and winds, okay? But it's a race on, from my experience, whatever develops down here, will weaken some, but how much? So however strong it is here determines a lot if it goes up into the Gulf, because it won't weaken a lot if it starts racing up that direction. It'll maintain itself or weaken some, but even if it expands out to a subtropical type of system, then you have wider reaching effects, wider winds, surge. So again, I'm very cautious to say it could only be a tropical storm, subtropical storm, minimal hurricane, because you have effects from all systems, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be a Cat 5, but it could bring impacts. Any system can bring impacts. So that's why we watch it, right? You got people boating, you got people living on the coast that could deal with surge. You could, luckily the moon cycle's in the middle, so we won't have that extra couple feet to worry about. We have the MJO on approach. I know I talk a lot about that, but unfortunately it's going to peak right at the exact time of this system. So we're going to have very favorable environmental conditions in the Caribbean next week that could help thunderstorms get going. So it has a lot more going for it than against it, at least until the Yucatan. And then we'll have to see what it does. And I'm going to show you all that. So, but the models. All right. So that's what we get into. What's everybody arguing about now? Hammock. I love hammocks, Ken Johnson. I had a hammock one time. The hammock was more about looking cool rather than being in it, because it was hard getting in a hammock. It's hard to get out. Miss Rose Jones, you're welcome. Hidden RV, I'm not sure where that's at. Riverview. The Loop Eddy, yeah, that's a cool map, Jesse. We could look at that in a little bit. Thank you, LW. One tornado. We don't want any tornadoes, that's for sure. All right, so here we go. The ensembles. you know, thank you, Melissa Duke. And I guess one thing I thought about too, I needed to mention is, I understand if you were affected by a storm, it sucks. Everybody hates it. And I understand the need to, not have the possibility of another one. But since I've been doing this page, we've had storms hit other areas. And maybe that tone wasn't as loud. But you have to remember, there's others that might be affected. So we don't stop talking because some were affected, because there's others that might be now affected. Like 17 was a bad year. 18 was we had a lot of bad years with a lot of storms, but we never stopped talking about the next thing because you can't hide from it. That's the bottom line. You can't just pretend it's not there. That's the bottom line. I understand we don't want to, talk about it, but I'm not saying it's going to be a Cat 5 hurricane into Tampa. I've never mentioned hurricane. I've never mentioned Florida. If you read any of my posts, that's what bothers me. People assume that I'm talking about a hurricane hit in Tampa. I'm like, what? Did you not look at the posts? Don't assume what I'm trying to say in my messaging. That's what's happening a lot lately. But anyway, here's your ensembles for next Thursday. These are your GFS ensembles. Basically, it looks like Louie and Hunter got a crayon. I agree. It's kind of a lot of mess, but we really don't. It's really just talking about the same thing. Everything's going to meet here this time next week. Some of these members are faster, so the inline on all these is next Thursday a.m. So there are some that are showing this thing could be here by next Thursday. So if it's sped up, whatever it is, we could see, effects of this thing early next week into the lower 48 or Florida or the Bahamas. So these are your inlines next Thursday morning. Some are still down here. So it's, it is sloppy, but one thing that's important if you want to, worry about intensity, you look at the pressures, and most of them are around 1,000 millibar, But we've also learned in the past, sometimes the GFS and the Euro is a little underestimating intensity. So I'm cautious on saying it's only that, because then it could be more, because there's other models showing more. If there wasn't any models showing more, then I would feel more easy saying it might not be anything, but there are models showing stronger than this. So the latest Euro for the same time stamp for next Thursday morning, afternoonish actually. This is about 12 hours behind the GFS, but it's next Thursday anyways. We're starting to see some, getting close here. We're seeing some bend a little bit down here. I mentioned there's a high that might be building. So it's not 100% guarantee this thing's doing anything past this, but definitely here next Wednesday, Thursday is looking like the time frame of the general area. And like I said, we got a lot of people going to the Yucatan and definitely cruising, but some of these Euro ensembles are under 1,000 millibar, which could be named. Nothing's showing Cat 3 or plus on these models, but a name system nonetheless. And there's a lot more Euro every day than there was a couple days ago. So the trend is, a little bit more of this northwest high pressure blocking, something growing, all these conditions. So this is the post that got everybody mad, but I didn't make this stuff up. This is just all the models, and 5 of these are on Tropical Tidbits, and these other 2 are on weathermodels.com that I use. But GFS showing 1,003 millibar next Thursday morning. That's tropical storm. Euro showing 1,009. That's barely even organized. The Icon is showing a lot stronger system. Yes. The Canadian showing a 984. That would be a hurricane. But again, 2R. Euro AI slowly starting to show the same idea, but it's weaker. But it is showing. So the confidence, look at the position of all these lows. This is high confidence to me that you have 5 models next Thursday pretty much around the same area. Now we have the UK Met, doesn't go out that far. This is Wednesday night, but you can see a low pressure developing near the Yucatan. next Wednesday night. And then on the KMA, it's Thursday morning. It's been aggressive, yes, showing a strong system. But, that's high confidence that something's going to be here next Thursday, next Wednesday. Yes, it's showing this little guy right here, a little bubble here, a little low here, a little low here. So that's that other little spot on that one map I was showing you that for some of the models have been showing a little leftover staying there, and who knows, but it's not highlighted right now. We're not going to worry about it. So Mike is always on CNN. I'm on Fox more. I don't understand, Susan. Jesse, I forget. People are crazy. Deborah, no idea where anything's heading except the Yucatan for sure needs to be watching. The Caymans need to be watching. Jamaica's going to be seeing it begin this weekend. And then after that, history says this cold front middle of next week to next week should lift it to the northeast, which, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just rain. Maybe it's, could be more. We've had systems in the past. So, fall festival, Bill. Cool. Where's that at? Everybody excited about Halloween? What's up? Oh, let's see. Key West. There you go. Jasmine. Hey, good question, Jasmine. Alexis. What models have been good this year? Well, the KMA has been pretty darn good. Not for track, but good for sniffing systems out. The UK, when it jumps on board with the KMA, to me, that's high confidence. The Canadian, the GEM here, has been very good this year, initially sniffing out systems. The Euro's been terrible this year, all the way around. The Euro AI has been pretty good, so it's not showing much of a system as far as organized systems, so that's good news for that part. And the Icon's been late to the game, but now it's on, and that's what it's done all year. And the GFS has been hit or miss. So my number one model this year, I think, is the Canadian for sniffing things out. We don't have intensity models yet because it's not an invest. We'll probably get an invest maybe Saturday at the earliest when we have a low pressure center. Then we'll get the higher intensity models that really do a good job with what could happen with strength. They are usually spot on. But yeah, I'm cautiously watching a sneaky little system develop, at least in the short term, because of the conditions down there at Caribbean. Now, whether it can maintain that, some of the models have it really fizzle once it gets into the Gulf, which is, awesome. Water temperatures in the Gulf are nowhere near they are peak season. That's reality. But they're warm enough they can maintain something, and that's reality. So systems that are moving fast up from the Caribbean won't have a lot of time to weaken. They will weaken some, but they won't have a lot of time to weaken. So that makes sense. So Marky, thank you. Your dog is getting Steph. Your dog is getting frisky in the cool weather. Isn't that weird how dogs just go wild when it's cold out? Morning, Roberto from Naples. Robin Peters. I am taking the skeleton down. Not for this as much as my neighbors had enough of me. But yeah, you never know. All right, so these are all the models. Yeah, they could change, but that's the trend. Again, I'm not, try to keep it real. All right, so let's look at all the individual runs here. Let's look at that. So we'll go to tropical tidbits. These are always, then we'll look at the ensembles, the long-range ensembles, which will tell us past 7 days. I showed you 7-day ensembles, but we need to look at 10-day ensembles because that'll start to show where the general thinking is on direction after. So, but we'll look at the last 3 runs of the GFS. So this, blues are low pressure, orange is high pressure. latest GFS, and let's look at when the development looks like it could begin. It looks like Saturday we're getting some sort of spin down here. That's been the same time frame for several days now. We got this other little piece of energy that, if you look back, we've been seeing this a lot. Sometimes, like I said, this wraps around this system. We get a big old low, but basically we got these two areas combining into one and heading off to the northwest. So we got 997. This is Sunday. This is, bringing rains and winds to the islands for sure. Starts to develop it. Combines with this other system, little Fujiwara effect, 997, sloppy low, 1,000 millibar. By then we're starting to see stuff into Florida Tuesday, Wednesday. Now it's not organized at this point, but we do have rain. There will be storms on this one scenario here. This would be Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So it'd be rainy. It'd be, flooding, it could be storms, but this is, not organized, named. I don't think it could be named. Then it plops through Florida there and hangs out. Here comes that front line. This is Friday, and eventually just kind of, that's the effect of cooler water and shear. But, again, enough to bring some weather to Florida. This is, Thursday. Now, we've seen a lot of different runs here, so let me show you. The general idea has not changed at all. So latest GFS for Sunday dominates the northern energy, and 998, 995, 992, 994. That's definitely possibly a system. Here's that front line coming down. This is Tuesday morning. So we can start to see impacts in the Keys if this one verified, obviously. But there you go, 994, 990, 985. That's, hurricane range. This is the OOZ GFS, and it kind of stops here on Wednesday, and it doesn't really do much, but it gets awfully close to that upper Gulf Coast on Wednesday, and it kind of fizzles it out as it starts to turn off to the northeast. This makes a lot of sense, less time, it maintains intensity, more time, it has those cooler waters, opens up, but again, if it doesn't slow down, it maintains this intensity. This is the latest GFS, so it's one real scenario. We don't need any more rain up there, that's for sure. So that's the latest zero. Then let's look at the 18Z. Last night's run shows low pressure, maybe Saturday down here, low pressure to the north. Again, a lot of rain for Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. I know we got a lot of folks watching down there, so this initial energy that's actually kind of this part right here, you can see it right here. This whole frontal line is just massive, and it's going to be pushing some of this juice this way as this system comes up. So all this high pressure rotation comes across, and all this juice is going to bring heavy rains for the next several days for Hispaniola and Puerto Rico and parts of the Virgin Islands. But last night's 18Z run, weak system, gets into the Gulf on Wednesday morning, 1001. It's developed by now, and it could reach the upper Gulf, and then it fizzles out. So there you go. All right, there you go. All right, so let's look at the latest Canadian, since it's always been a pretty decent model. Latest Canadian. Here's development starting Saturday. We might get a low pressure center, basically 1,000 millibar over Jamaica on Monday morning. Slow development as it starts to do. Look at this big front line coming. 995, 994, 993. Nothing, more than maybe a hurricane. It could be a hurricane at 990. This would be Wednesday, splitting the gap, and 985, 84, 83. Now, this is that little bend back south. Don't know if that's reality or not, but it's definitely showed up on some of the European ensembles. So, decent chance, that this thing could either go either way, but history says it would react to this front line and get pulled out of here. So we'll see if that's a trend or not. But again, we're worried about this time frame, this time next week, possible hurricane. Yesterday's 12Z was the opposite. You can see it start to turn to the northeast. So, and it was strong yesterday, 967 millibar on next Friday. Here's next Thursday, 975. So, there's that. The latest icon showing you a 6Z run, 997 millibar next Tuesday, but the 00Z run was the 998 millibar there on Tuesday. And it slowly develops at 982, 980 on Wednesday, 969 really gets it developed. This is that pocket of light wind shear, hot water next week that it could really do that. It really could with that MJO and the warm water. So we could see some sort of really intensification over this Yucatan gap. This is next Wednesday, and then you can see that it doesn't run that far out. But if you look at the steering currents here, we see a front coming into play, and typically these react to that front and turn. So you have to use a little bit of history over models sometimes with common sense on that. Here you go. All right, so then the latest Euro AI, not really showing much at all. Hasn't really shown much at all. There's a little bump here. This is next Thursday. You can see the little bit of vorticity there, showing you the low pressure dot. And it's weak, and it turns into that front. So the Euro AI isn't anything other than a big rainmaker midweek. It gets sucked up to that front. So, but the important thing with the AI is it's showing the same steering pattern. So that's very confident that we're going to see something get pulled up into here. But none of the Euro AI has ever really developed it. So that's important to note. Definitely holding back some of that NHC chances, I'm sure. So that's good, right? And then the Euro, I think we did the Euro. Didn't we do the Euro? I don't remember if we did the Euro. Yeah, we did the Euro. Euro showing a weak system in the middle Gulf on Thursday. And X bends down a little bit too. So there you go. All right. Let's look at the ensembles as we get close to the 10 o'clock hour. I love ensembles. We kind of get an idea past 7 days what the chances might be with steering currents. So let's go to 7 days. Here's 7 days on the GFS or the Euro. You can see where it believes things could develop. It would not be anywhere near the lower 48 this time, next week, according to the Euro. Then we go out in time. It's a widespread. And again, there's 51 members of the Euro. Not very many are pointing anything too bad to worry about. Some go to Louisiana, some go to Florida, some don't. So past 7 days, still that big question mark. But the Euro again has not been the best model this year, so we have to remind ourselves that it has not been a very good model this year. But it is showing quite a few decent developed systems here 8 days from now. 995, 64, 55, 89, 88, 99, 1,000. So this is what's important with the Euros. It is at least consistent on something here next Thursday, next Friday. And then where does it go from there? Latest GFS ensembles are 6Z. We'll look at those, and we'll look at the 00Zs. These just came out. And we'll look at the Caribbean. I know it's a big spaghetti mess, but 7 days out. There you go. You got some reds very strong. Reds definitely what you don't want to see is reds 960 to 979 pressure. 980. So blue is typically could be a hurricane. The blue and spaghetti models. Not all of them are showing that, but we do see several here 7 days from now already impacting. So, we can see impacts as near as the 6th, if some of these verified. But overall pattern is, you can kind of see. There's a couple going south, but generally most of them are kind of curving a little bit. That to me is what would happen. Just based on the front coming down, history. So, yeah, just, and again, they're not all very strong. We have a few that could be, developed. Let's look at some rainfall estimates on the latest couple models here. Let's look at rain accumulation for the next, this is through the next week. So obviously, you remember the Euro kept it weak and west. Well, this could this could really be a weird run because it would bring it upper Gulf to Texas possibly as a weak low pressure. Follow the trends though. This is your big rains all the way across to that frontal line. Latest GFS showing a little bit more rain in the Florida Peninsula. So all depends where it goes. The latest icon doesn't go out that far. NAM doesn't go out that far. So there's that. So, all right. So bottom line, nothing really. Not stressing yet for anybody except maybe the Yucatan, Cancun area, before it exits the gap. Definitely could see something try to get strong about right there. And then what happens in the Gulf? That's the big question mark. Like I said, there are a couple members going south, more going north. Some are fizzling it. So there's really no reason to be worried other than there are some models showing it, staying a little strong as it gets pulled up into the Gulf of Mexico. So, that's it. I mean, you just got to look at the conditions ahead, and you look at that, and you look at models. Some models are showing it as a possibility. So there you go. Timing is pretty locked in. Middle week, it should be around the Yucatan. And every day we get closer. All right. So I'm not making any gutsy calls yet, except I do think history says this thing probably gets up into the Gulf and likely is going to turn eventually. The conditions in the Gulf with wind shear and water temps hopefully weakens whatever. So that's always good news. But I've also seen systems weaken, but not weaken fast enough to really make it breaking news headlines. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway. Thank you, Donna. Morning, Mr. Dave Graff. What's up, Mr. David? I don't know if I say your name right, but I like that 5-year badge, David. Is it Retman? Cool. Patty's the next name, survey says. Digital storm, who knows? The global tropics hazards map showing that this area could be favorable for another storm. But let's work, like I said, one storm at a time. But this is the week 3, November 13th to the 19th. But like I said, one storm at a time, right? Oh my God. So anyway, what else we got to talk about? Happy Halloween. What's up, D? Yep. Right Man. All right, let's see if I remember that. Right Man. Trends, Brian. Hey, what's up, Brian? Trends are just some sort of system trying to develop in the Yucatan area by midweek. How fast it gets pulled up into the Gulf and where it goes from there. There is a front coming down next week. Likelihood of this thing pulling up to the northeast seems high to me because of history. Here's next Thursday. We start to see this front line here with our system already being shown here on the surface charts. So this is next week. This is next Thursday. There's our system. Here's a front coming down. So typically they get pulled to the north and turn. Depends on how strong that front is, but that's the big question. Strong front, more chance it lifts and turns. Weak front, this is kind of what happens. So here's that strong frontal line on the latest GFS. There it is. This is next Wednesday. But it kind of weakens a little bit at the end, creating a high pressure right here. This is next Friday. There's our high building in. Some of the models had this thing doing this, stalling out. Longer it sits out here in the Gulf, it would weaken. There's no doubt about it. It can't sit over the Gulf and not weaken. No way. Not with those colder waters and wind shear. But if it gets pulled up and turns, then it wouldn't have a lot of time to weaken. So definitely a lot of players left on the plate to watch. But we are due for a cold front pretty soon, you would think. But see the latest Canadian showing that. So that is a real scenario that middle of next week, this cold front isn't that strong in our system. It'll be really interesting to see what the 12Zs show. But here's middle of next week on the Canadian. This high pressure builds in, blocks it, and turns it south. But then yesterday's 12Z was the opposite. Pulls our system up and picks it up, starts to turn it. So I think what we do know is the likelihood of something strong right here in this general area is pretty good. But after that, we just got to watch. And that's what I put. We just have to watch. Things are messy. Things are not clear. What is clear? A northwest movement. Conditions are favorable for development. It's not clear where it's going other than history. That's all. So anyway, I hope that you have a good Halloween. 16 years, man. I like to hear it, David. We got Patty up there. You're. How do we spell Patty, by the way? Patty is going to be spelled with a Y. Patty, who's right or who's wrong? Is your name right, Patty with an I, or is Patty with a Y? Cozumel, see, Danielle, man, you're going to be, well, you'll be nice on Sunday. Just by Tuesday, Wednesday might be going downhill. They'll get out of there. Patty with an I is better. Of course you said that. Leonard Skinner. What's up with Leonard Skinner apple cider? I love Leonard Skinner. Give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps. Man, my phone's going wild. So, hey, don't forget tomorrow we got Fran Hosh down in Nebraska and Palm Harbor. They were doing a big charity event. So I'll be there around 3-ish. Sarah is going, and maybe we'll bring the dogs. So 3 p.m.-ish. We're going to go hang out with Drew and John from The Bone at 102.5 tomorrow. I think David's going from TVBC too. So we're going to help out. We'll be writing a check from Mike's Weather page to help I think it's the food pantry that she supports. So we'll be there. But we'll be live tomorrow. And then I'll be posting today for sure. Keep an eye on these 12Z models, but you know, definitely looks like we could see Patty. And then where it goes, we'll go from there. Patty loves Leonard Skinner too. Bahamas, I don't know. You're going to get some of this initial juice. Lower Bahamas, for sure. Definitely been seeing this very consistently on the maps here, that we're going to have some of this juice here going to get pulled up into it. So this whole general area is going to get pulled across. You can see that. So depending on what part of the Bahamas you're talking about, definitely could see something early in the week. Lower Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. And there's that little other system that keeps popping in the picture. Showing up on the KMA, showing up on a lot of the models, but this one's starting to show a little turn, so that would be good news, right? Here is the K. Oh, we did show the KMA, didn't I? Well, there's the KMA, by the way. It's pretty aggressive. UK really starting to show development here. This is the 850, so it looks scarier than it really is, but still showing 1,000 millibar, which would be developed. So there's your latest UK for next Wednesday. So there's next Wednesday in the UK. Here's next Wednesday on the Canadian, a little stronger. That's Wednesday on the Canadian. Here's Wednesday on the Korea model KMA. There's Wednesday. The GFS on Wednesday is showing those two areas kind of merging together, maybe sitting off the Florida coast and then fizzling out once it reaches all that cooler water. That was just the last run. The latest Icon doesn't go out that far. Here's next Tuesday, but the 00Z did. Here's next Wednesday. The Euro has not been showing much. Just a sloppy low pressure here on Wednesday. But the Euro, like I said, Euro's had a rough year. But that's all. Just be aware. That's all. That's all we do. Not hyping. Hopefully you know that. I hate saying that word, but that's the way it goes. The one behind it, Jennifer's, hasn't been showing up really. I don't know. It's popping in the picture, but very inconsistent. I'm not worried about it yet. Just kind of something to know that's back there. Models have been off and on, but you know. Francine, have a good Halloween. Yep. Could fizzle, but it would be wrong to say it's going to fizzle because we don't know that. As long as we have ensembles, you know me, as long as we have ensembles pointing and we have other models pointing, then you talk about it, because sometimes ensembles and outliers end up being correct. So as long as there's stuff showing it, we're going to show it. All right. So cool beans. All right. We will be back tomorrow, hopefully. Oh my God, Halloween sometimes a little rough, but we'll be. Here you go, Shelly, sharing the cruise. Yep. Today's a great day. Got a few more cabins right here. MWP Cruise. She just linked it. Look at that. Call Kim. Kim will hook you up today. Let you know what we have available. For our 4th annual, I cannot believe it. It's our 4th annual Mike Sawyer Page Cruise, man. We have such a great time with friends and family. All the girls go, all the families go. We have a lot of great activities, a lot of fun. We do a presentation on the ship. We have trivia, we have swag bags, we have a free cocktail hour. We do all kinds of fun stuff. So, love to see you. If you love the cruise, it's just first week of June. So, we'll be kicking off the 2025 hurricane season on the water. On the Utopia of the Seas. Love to see you. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Halloween. Be safe. Don't eat too much chocolate, and we'll see you in the morning.